This is a flamethrower tower, and this is a horde of bugs that it has to fend off. Tower Dominion is a roguelike tower defense game where you randomly pick your towers each round. So how am I going to survive with just one tower? Let's get into it. And here we spawn in our HQ with a single path for all the bugs to go down. We are going to immediately put down a tile to extend the path for the bugs to go down. We're going to put down this bunker and upgrade it so that all these bugs that spawn in get shot and die. We're able to handle the first wave on our own, but eventually we won't have all of our friends to help us. So we're able to survive these first few waves on just this bunker. We took a few hits, but that's nothing we can't heal later on. Here we're going to grab some tight ranks to give buildings adjacent to 4 others extra damage. And that's going to prove really useful for our flamethrower strategy in the end, because we're planning on surrounding our flamethrower with a lot of buildings. So let's upgrade our Imperial Strongholds to give us some extra healing and extra recon. That'll be useful for us later. And for these first few waves, we don't really have to worry about too much. But what I'm worrying about is whether or not we'll be able to find our flamethrower. Because here we see randomly we got some platforms, some guns, but none of these are a flamethrower. And it'll be pretty important to get it as early on as possible, because we can, once we get it down, we'll be able to get upgrades for it, but we can't get those upgrades to really buff it up until we put it down. So we'll just pass this again. We'll get another tile and place it this way. We'll reveal an underground camp to give extra supply for nearby buildings, but we don't really need that. What we need to do is just save our money for when we need to spend it. And we're able to handle this again. Perfect. We're going to get some vicious crossfire to get extra rate of fire for the flamethrower eventually. And at some point, there's going to be way too many bugs for this one bunker to take care of. But it doesn't seem that we're at that point yet. Perfect. Now what I'll do is I'll grab a platform, because it seems like, ooh, new threat spotted. So, we're at wave 7 right now, and we don't have to worry about those threats until wave 10. But what we will have to eventually deal with are these fast flying guys that just zip through the pathway, and these slightly tanky guys that divide into smaller guys on death. So we have to think about how we're going to deal with those in the future. One way to deal with that is to get more of these bunkers that can shoot down these flyers pretty well. Oh, and here they all come on in. They get stopped by our guards in our bunker. Wonderful, wonderful. And we'll grab this, upgrade our base health a bit more. And I want to make sure that we can assess how to take out these guys. We haven't gotten anything yet for the flyers, but we can put down this to take out some of the dividing guys, because they're fairly tanky. And the big gun of this Durandal is able to, yeah, mostly kill these armored friends. They're not friends, they're foes. There we go. So that would help with the dividing guys. And, oh, this is actually perfect. Military Academy gives us a lot more chance for tier 2 doctrines to appear. And the Flamethrower is a tier 2 building. Now, I don't know if I'm being silly or not, but I think that means that we might have a better chance to get the Flamethrower. And this early on in the game, that would be pretty helpful. So everything, I've cleared off this lane, and now all of these bugs are going to go split, fly past the Durandal, and converge back. Thankfully, oh no, almost slipped past our commander and guards, but our bunker is able to clean that up. Now, let's see. We are able to make use of our friends now, because we'll need to, while we don't have our flamethrower turret just yet. And unfortunately, we don't have any guns specialized in taking out flying units except for our sturdy bunker, because it's got these heavy Vecador guns that give extra damage towards air units. But what I can do, it's like I can put down this werewolf, and it too is a big gun. However, this one's a big explosive gun. So we spawn the wave, and yeah, these fast flyers just slip past, get caught up. But the werewolf, if it shoots a nice target, does a big explosion, and a few got past, but we'll be able to reheal that. Okay, cool. This is actually perfect for the moment. The Claymore defense has a lot of small guns, and if I put it, oh, I can't fit it right there. Cool. That'll add extra production for us. But it has these double barrel LMGs that can take out the fast flyers. There we go. A few of them slip past, but they're heavily damaged, so we won't have to worry too much about them. Yeah, we're able to clean those up, and there we saw one of the bigger guys split into smaller. Okie doke, we handled that pretty well. Still not getting any flamethrowers or a super special building that'll upgrade our flamethrower even more. And I think now's a good time to take a look at my hotbar and see that we have two buildings. We have the Flame of Sarstov, which gives extra damage, rate of fire, and reload speed. I can place that down next to one of our flamethrowers. Oh, perfect. Here we go. We finally find a salamander position. This is a fixed flamethrower defense. We actually get two of them because that's how this action works, but we're not going to use two, we can only use one. So what we can do is place it down around here. And I need to think for a second, because we have this one doctrine called Tight Ranks, which gives buildings extra damage if there's 4 other buildings nearby. So that means this has to be surrounded almost on all sides. And I can't, if I put it right here, it'll have our HQ behind it, but only 2 slots. So we'll miss 4. I could put it over here, but then we can't get a bonus from our HQ being nearby, which we're actually going to just grab because we have the money, which gives extra rate of fire and reduces the cost for that building. So what I'm going to hope for, now that we have our flamethrower finally halfway through the game, this is pretty perfect. there's a super special second building that can really amplify our flamethrower. But we need to draw into that, and that isn't guaranteed. So this wave we handled pretty well, and I want to spend a few waves seeing if we can draw into it, but I don't know. It's not guaranteed. So now we just get enough supply to unlock the ability to place down our salamander. And I want to put it close to our base so that everything that comes its way files into it. And I could put it here. That would give it a building doctrines are more likely to appear. Ooh. Okay. So that's pretty useful. I think what we're gonna do for now is place down the salamander so that we can start unlocking doctrines for it. So we have these efficiency doctrines that give extra damage, rate of fire, and reload speed. And the only way to be able to pick them is to have the building on the field. So now that we have it down, I'm not fully committing to building our flames. These will massively increase the amount of damage that this now output, but I'm holding off for a secret special building. So let's start the next wave. Let's try and draw into it. And so far, we're doing pretty well. Here we see a few of the enemies get really close, and there we go. The flamethrower tank can just, honestly, maybe this position is good enough. Oh, and perfect. Immediately after we get extra 10% damage, reload speed, and firing speed. So that'll upgrade this flamethrower even more. Something we'll do is increase its damage per adjacent building. So now the flamethrower is borrowing some damage from our HQ, which doesn't shoot because I'm not allowed to have it shoot. And we're going to apply sticky flames using 3 of our scarce tech resources. So now any enemies that get in its path are now slowed. And we're doing pretty well. I think we're set up fairly decently to survive the final wave. Now I want to just test the flamethrower out a little bit. I could upgrade some of the buildings in front of it, but let's just, yeah, it's able to clean up all the little guys nearby. I don't want to stress it just too much because we have to make it to the final wave. Okay. New threats spotted. In 3 turns, we will have to face even more dividing guys and some flying tanky guys. Now I face a premise. The flyers can go over the area. I want to make sure that we stagger all the enemies coming in so they're not super bunched, so that we can have a nice rate of enemies into the nice rate of flames coming out of our flamethrower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this entrance right here so that some of the wave can spawn early on and funnel into our flamethrower individually, while more of the wave can spawn back here and take its time along this path. And just there we go. The flamethrower is able to pick up everything in the back, and you know what? I'm feeling a little ambitious. I'm feeling kind of ambitious. Let's see what we're gonna pick up for our next. Yeah, this might be a mistake. But we just added an extra 10% damage. Let's sell this bunker. We don't need that bunker anymore. We have our flamethrower. And let's upgrade it. Each of these flaming statues give adjacent buildings extra damage, rate of fire, and reload speed. So now, this flamethrower has 20% efficiency from our doctrines, plus 25% of the same efficiency, 50% in total from these flames, and a 30%. So we got 50 plus 30 is 80 plus 20. There is 100% extra damage, rate of fire, and reload speed for our flamethrower. This is what I'm hoping can take out the final wave. Let's send it through. So all these flyers slip past our small guns and directly into the flames. There we go, perfect. And fairly nicely, I mean, we're still being helped out by our friends, but the waves are still staggered enough to where the flamethrower can eat away at the enemies as they come by. And just look at all these small guys. We don't even need this werewolf position anymore. Let's just sell that, because that takes out a bunch of different small guys. And okay, this isn't what I was expecting, but amplifier deployment 1 will give us a certified amplifier. That is a fairly helpful building. What it does is it doubles the chances to get targeted buildings, blueprints, and building doctrines. So I can put that there, add an extra building to give extra damage. Oh, I'm silly. The salamander gets extra 50, 100, 150, 200% damage from being surrounded from its energy tap ability. So it's got an extra 300% damage coming out of it, as well as an extra 100% fire rate and reload speed. Now, what this amplifier does is it has a few abilities. I can either do a few things, and honestly, we're going to... I can't buy this plasma cannon. We're gonna have to wait one turn to upgrade it with our recon, because the plasma cannon is another gun. But I think we're doing pretty well. Now, we can't get rid of our commander, but to be honest, I think what they're contributing is negligible, because the flamethrower is just taking out all of these enemies like nothing. Oh yeah, I think we can survive the final wave. I don't even need this Durandal anymore. Be gone. Alright. Now I'm gonna grab this ionized weapons ability to give extra damage to shields. And here's the next wave. Alright, I may have been a little preemptive with taking out the Durandal, but if we can survive this wave, we can survive any wave, hopefully. Let's send it in. And yeah, here are these just absolutely chunky wiggly boys. They will die and spawn into slightly smaller, littler wiggly boys. And the flamethrower, yes, oh yes. It takes out all the flyers, takes out the guys, and oh, that was a little bit too close. Okay, we seem to have handled it enough, but the dividing chunky wiggly boys divided into more slightly chunky wiggly boys, and then divided into more of these tiny guys. which with this small area isn't, I don't know if that's enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put down and lengthen this area. We're going to go into the amplifier, and that doesn't matter. Add an extra 20% damage to the building, and give the targeted building an extra 2 range. Now we can see that our flamethrower can cover pretty much anywhere that we need it to. That's really helpful. This isn't the building that I thought we were gonna get, but I'm glad that we have it. Let's send this next wave and hope that the extra range that we have can help with taking out this chunky wiggly boy earlier than we need. Actually, our commander intercepted it, so that was lucky. But even still, this extra range, yeah, there we go. At the first, oh yeah, okay. I think we're doing pretty good. Wonderful. Now, the really important thing about the strategy, and I'm going to be as audacious as to remove this as well. Now we have no buildings other than our salamander that can shoot. So now we're relying entirely on our salamander. 3 waves before the final wave. That's crazy. And what's even more crazy is if we take a look at how much supply we have 5,300 supply. That could allow us to put down any souped up building anywhere we need. So having this souped up defense building back here enables us to focus targeted buildings later on for even more difficult. We've just reclaimed so much resources by having our one defender back here. That's really the crux of, oh shit, oh no, oh god, what happened? The flyers, okay, that's, maybe I was a little bit too audacious. We're cleaning everything up. We only took a little bit of damage. Let's keep it like that. Here's the last 2. There we go. This doesn't matter. What we will need to do, place down 1 more tile, extend this path, then the next wave, and see when these 2 waves intersect. We have a bunch of them spawning in, getting taken out by our flamethrower and commander. Early on, far away, that works pretty well. We're doing enough damage to just melt everything. And now the second wave of slower things is arriving that we can deal with on their own. They're all trickling in. Wonderful. So we're guaranteed to survive wave 23. We have 2 more waves until the final wave, which will contain a lot more stronger tier 1 foes. They're so slow, they have no idea what's up. Lovely. Let's see if we can get a blueprint. What might be in these blueprints? Nothing important for us. Send the next wave. And we're saving so much supply on just having one bunker. Like, if I was able to have, oh, okay, let's see. These flyers are being a bit more tough. Ooh, I had to just quick scope. Okay. That was a little hairy. That was a little hairy, but we survived it. Those red flyers are just too tanky. Not only do they have a lot of health, but they take less damage because they fly. And if we were able to add anti-flying damage, then we could take him out really easily, but we don't have access to that. We just have a little flamethrower. Alright. So this won't matter. Final wave, major breach. And this is kind of what I was hoping for. Let's place down this. This tile has 2 entrances, so the entire wave is going to be spread out between this entrance and these 2. So now we've just weighed half more enemies further back. So let's start this wave. And okay, what are you? Why? That I was not expecting to see these red shield guys. That's a big wave. That's a real big wave. They're all coming in. We're able to take out a fair amount of them. And no. Okay. I think we got a handle. It's too many slip past. Please, no! Ugh. Well, that would be nice later on. Salamander position expertise. Give me extra rate of fire. Ugh. And that's tower defense for you. A roguelike tower defense game where you can only build what you have access to. Now, we weren't able to win this time. Maybe if we got a different final wave, we might have been able to, but seeing the amount of supply we have 11,000 supply at the very end. For getting as far as we did, I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe we'll have to try this again some other time, but thank you so much for watching. My name is Taste Like Lapis. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!